Good evening. I'm Jennifer Lee.
And I'm Josh Benson. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Well, today, the Department of Justice unsealed the historic indictment charging a former president for the first time in history with federal crimes. The
49-page indictment outlines the charges tied to the classified documents recovered from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach. It also details how, according to prosecutors, the former president tried to prevent the return of those documents to U.S. officials. Trump faces 37 felony counts related to his handling of those classified documents.
Yeah, and the most severe charges carry a penalty of up to 20 years in prison if Donald Trump is convicted. Now, this trial could last as long as 21 days, but no date has been set just yet. News Channel 8's Justin Shecker read through the indictment. He's live in Tampa tonight. A lot to read through. What did you learn?
Josh and Jen, good evening to you both. This indictment includes statements of former President Trump made as a candidate back in 2016. They would enforce all laws related to classified information. Now the Republican frontrunner for the nomination in 2024 and his valet named Walt Nauta are charged with breaking laws meant to protect the nation's most sensitive secrets. This is the unprecedented federal indictment of a former U.S. president.
And I invite everyone to read it in full, to understand the scope and the gravity of the crimes charged.
According to the DOJ special counsel, FBI agents seized 102 documents with classification markings from Donald Trump's office and storage room at Mar-a-Lago last August. Prosecutors say they came from a number of agencies, including the CIA, Department of Defense, and National Security Agency. They contain information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of the United States and foreign countries, the nation's nuclear programs, and potential vulnerabilities of the U.S. and its allies to military attack.
Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced.
Former President Trump is calling the investigation a political witch hunt.
I'm an innocent man. I did nothing wrong. And we will fight this out just like we've been fighting for 7 years.
Prosecutors say Trump hid boxes with the documents in various locations, including a Mar-a-Lago ballroom, his bedroom, and even a bathroom and shower. The indictment says twice in 2021, Trump shared classified material with people without security clearances. The charging document reveals he showed a plan of attack to an author and publisher at his New Jersey golf club. A transcript of their recorded conversation says Trump admitted he did not declassify the document. He said, "Now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret." The indictment also says Trump suggested to his lawyers that they don't play ball with the May 2022 grand jury subpoena. One attorney says Trump told him, "I don't want anybody looking through my boxes." A Trump-appointed judge was randomly chosen to oversee the court case that coincides with his run for the White House in 2024.
To that end, my office will seek a speedy trial in this matter, consistent with the public interest and the rights of the accused.
And as for one of former President Trump's challengers in the 2024 GOP primary, here's some of what Governor Ron DeSantis had to say about the indictment during a campaign rally tonight in North Carolina.
Our founding fathers would have absolutely predicted the weaponization that we've seen with these agencies, particularly Justice and FBI, because when you don't have constitutional accountability, human nature is such that they will abuse their power.
And Justin, there was a shakeup in the former president's legal team before he makes that court appearance in Miami on Tuesday. That's kind of a big deal.
That is, Jen. Today, two of Mr. Trump's attorneys quit. They'll no longer represent him in this classified documents case or the ongoing investigation into January 6th. Instead, he's turning to Todd Blanche, the same attorney defending him in his criminal case in Manhattan.
Justin Shecker, live for us in Tampa tonight. Thank you, Justin.